So you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are going to talk about, well, I got very excited for the pile of things that I had from the store to bring home and talk about in herbalism and witchcraft. And those things are right below here. I have taro root, a parsnip, yam, and sweet potato. And, to my surprise, none of them, including mandarin, which is also in my pile, were in this book. I was shocked and surprised, but I got over it. I did find some of it in his Cunningham's Wicca in the Kitchen, but the only other thing that I had from that shopping trip that was in this book, it was from the shopping trip before, and it was a ginger root. So we'll be doing a ginger root video from this book. But in the next couple of videos, when I talk about these things, I'm only going to be speaking from a couple of these books here. And right now, we're going to call this video Mandarin and Tangerine in Witchcraft, okay? So first we're going to start with Tangerine, because that's where I found the most. I actually didn't find anything from any book on Mandarin. But I have some fresh tangerines here, and then I have some dried mandarin skins here that I've already had from the summertime when I had mandarins, and I dried them. So, let's first read about the magical tangerine. And I like to keep anything where it has parts of it, you know, from nature still attached, you know, on the vine still. To me, it just feels more magical, and I can use the leaves for things. I'll dry those and use them for other things. So there's that. Now let's talk about these beautiful little lovelies. Okay, so a couple editing. I always help out with the editors because they'll make a new revision. But I found a couple little additions that they need to do and take care of. They have so much to do in these books, and I'm just here to help you if you're looking it up. Basically, you'll find in the index on page 377 down toward the bottom right, you'll find tangerine, and it says it's on page 107, which is correct, 125, which is correct, 233, which is correct, 322, the page does not exist, it's just a blank page, 325, and that is, I couldn't find it on there apparently. But I did find it on page 324, which wasn't listed in the book at all in the index. And I found it on 327, which wasn't listed in the index at all. And then the index says 329, I found it on there. And then it's also on page 330, which wasn't in the index at all. So 3 additional pages, and then on page 325 I couldn't find it. Page 322 doesn't exist. Alright, so let's get to it. Tangerine. So starting on page 107, it comes up when we are talking about carambola, which is the star fruit. And the reason I haven't done that video yet, it's been requested by Brenda and a couple other my subscribers and family members here at the Taxidermy Witch. But they're not in season right now. So I sure could do a video, but I'd rather do it with the fruit. I'm going to go to one last Asian market in Seattle at Uwajimaya, which I think might have it. And if I can't find it there, I'll just, I'll feel out my intuition. But spring's only a few months away, and we will have it back in season. So I have it in all these books, though. It comes up over and over, the carambola or the star fruit. And that's so magical because it's in the shape of a star, right? Alright, so it comes up talking about carambola under the magical uses, and it says that a protective fruit salad can be made with carambola slices, whole blueberries, mango chunks, pineapple slices, whole raspberries, tangerine sections. So that can be in a protective salad, okay? Next, we are on to page 125, where it talks about it like this. Okay, tangerine. It is a citrus, if you couldn't recognize that already. But all these citruses are a bit different. And whenever you can, you want to try and get these in organic. if you're able to pay just a couple extra cents per pound for them, because then you won't have pesticides attached to that beautiful magical oil of the fruit. Especially if you're using them for oils on the skin and stuff. Okay, so planet the sun, and that makes sense because it's a bright orange fruit. It's round like the sun, you know. Element air. It's up at the top of the trees in the air. That's kind of easy to remember. Energies or protection. Lore. I was once walking through a heavily Asian neighborhood to the grocery store. As usual, I was being nosy, looking into cars that were parked along the road. One of the cars stood out. The usual red and gold ornament, placed there for protection, hung from the rearview mirror. Beside it, the car's owner had suspended a small branch with dried tangerines still attached to it. That's cool. I did a double take and smiled, knowingly that the tangerine is a fruit of protection throughout Asia. It is also a common offering on contemporary Buddhist altars. Magical uses. Tangerines, solar fruits, are drenched with the energies of the sun. Eat for internal personal protection. Alternately, place a fresh tangerine on your kitchen table or household altar if you have one, to guard your home. So if you place one of these on your altar, it will guard your home for the time that it's fresh and living. And it will stay living so much longer on your altar. You guys, it's so weird to see how long things actually last when they're on your altar. It's like you'll have an egg that will sit there not in the cold at all and it will not rot somehow. It's so strange, things that have happened on my altar that are almost like supernatural in a way. How did that not rot, you know? Okay, so place, it says here, alternately place a fresh tangerine on your kitchen table or household altar if you have one, to guard your home, particularly during short vacations and trips. That's good for if you're taking a short holiday for the, Christmas holiday that's coming up, or Yule. Replace with a fresh tangerine as needed. So just keep getting one at the store every time this one starts to get a little bit off. Just keep recycling and replacing them. That's excellent advice, and that's something that you can almost find all year round, because you can find tangerines in the winter. At least here in the Northwest you can. So for internal personal protection, you can eat them and keep them fresh on your altar or your kitchen table to guard your home. And you just keep it replaced fresh as needed. Bury the used tangerines in the ground. So when they're done at your altar and they start to get, dark, bury them in the ground. And you can keep a special place. There's a lot of things I bury right below my bedroom window here because that feels so special to me. And a lot of things end up sprouting. It's quite interesting to see. Like, I've planted rosehip offerings and things like that. I dispose of workings on one part, do offerings to Bastet over here. Kind of all things in the backyard here. But it's interesting to see what pops up. Okay, so next we're on to page 233, where we find it under fruits for protection. There's a list of fruits for protection. And then we find it on page 325. I couldn't find it, but on 324, which wasn't in the index, I found it under tangerine relating to the sun. And then I found it on page 327, where tangerine relates to air. and that wasn't listed in the index. And then on page 329, which was listed in the index, we found it. We did not find it, so I'm thinking that that was just a typo, and then on page 330, it's there under the fruit of Leo. So tangerine is a Leo fruit. And that wraps it up for the tangerine book. Scott Cunningham, Wicca in the Kitchen Encyclopedia of. I found it in there. And so, yeah, that's what I found on tangerine. It was just in this book. I looked through all my other books, couldn't find it. Now, orange comes up a lot. So for some reason, you guys didn't have this book. You didn't see this video of mine. But you had a tangerine, or a cutie, or a mandarin, or a... How many types of oranges are there? There's so many different types, right? So as long as it's an orange citrus fruit, you can relate it to things. And I'll give you that little bit of information right here, where I'm going to talk about mandarin skins, which I dried last summer. And you know, they didn't turn out gorgeously beautiful orange, but they're fine. They smell delicious inside of this jar. They're organic mandarin skins, and they smell so strong and so beautiful. That smell is just captured right in there. So I just threw those in the dehydrator as I ate them. You know, and as I ate them, I was wishing things that I wanted for my future intuitively. And it's so funny because when you look in these books and you read up under just oranges in general, and I believe I've done a video on oranges. If one of you guys knows, let me know. If I've not done one, let me know, and I'll do one up because I should. Definitely, oranges are something I work with so much. So in my Conjure book here by Star Casas, the old style Conjure Hoodoo root work and folk magic, it says under roots, herbs, and trees, it says orange peel, worked with in all works concerning anything that is drawing or attraction work. So orange peel is great for attraction. And hoodoo is all about using what you have. So mandarin would definitely work for the orange peel, okay? If you're using what you've got in hoodoo, root work, folk magic, right? So then again, it came up in here in Sky Alexander's book, where she has a different take than Scott Cunningham does. Now, Scott Cunningham does talk about oranges in here, and I'll just, for example, list her differences between Scotty's. And what we're doing again right here is we're trying to relate this to mandarins. If you can't find it in any other book, like I was only able to find tangerine in here. If you can't find in any other book, what does this book say versus this book? And then make your comparisons. But know that it doesn't matter. You could still use those mandarin skins for the same orange citrus magic. So here under magical fruits, we find orange. And again, this is Sky Alexander's view on things, and she's the one who writes all the modern witchcrafts. This is the spell book. She says, orange for magical fruits is joy, health, and purification. Okay, what does Scott Cunningham say orange is for a magical fruit? So orange, the powers are love, divination, luck, and money. Joy, health, purification. See, I don't know. That's really, really different. I'm definitely taking what Scotty says over hers, but if I can't find any other information, I go with my intuition and then check any in this book to see if they might match up, and then I go with that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just nothing against Sky Alexander, but this is my father of witchcraft. You guys know that. So, yeah, love, divination, luck, and money. And when I was wishing for something, how is that not, like, you know, connected to luck and divination, like I was wishing, I was trying to see my future, make it happen, you know. So there you go. There's how you can look up things that you don't exactly know how to look up. I highly doubt I will find this parsnip in any of my magical books, but remember, parsnip is a root vegetable, okay? The greens you could keep for other things, and I don't know intuitively, I'd really have to meditate on it, but this is a grounding food. Something that grows in the ground and grows below the earth is going to help you ground, stay, you know, will help you stay centered if you're too much in the vata part of things, you know. But it will keep you kapha, it will keep you grounded. So we can learn more about those types of relations in the book over here called Eastern Mind, Western Embody. And while we're still at a low amount of time in this video, I've not planned this out at all, but let's just see if we can look up any kind of root vegetables. I did find yam and sweet potato in Witchcraft in the Kitchen, I believe, so let's just make sure. Yam. Yeah, yam, page 98. Does it say enough on it? Okay, sweet potatoes on 98, but it says yams on 98, so are you really pulling that? I was going to try and tell you guys the difference between the two, because there is a big difference, not just in color, but in, you know, medicinal benefits. I would have assumed magical as well. I really have to think on that, but they are potato, so the leaves are in the nightshade family. The potato grows at night. It's in the nightshade family. The leaves are then poisonous. Just like the tomato, the fruit is fine. It's a nightshade. The leaves are poisonous. Okay, so we will get on to yams and sweet potatoes in this book, and taro. I know that taro comes up in there too, so don't worry, that's coming. But I don't think that we're going to be able to find parsnip. Let me just triple check while I've got the book right here. However, you can figure out these words I was using, like kapha, vata, and pitta, in this book, where you try and figure out Ayurveda and bring that into witchcraft for those of you who are interested. Because I know a lot of you are. This relates to the chakras, it relates to meditation, it relates to where you're at on the here and now plane, but what level you're at and how you can help center or ground yourself, you know, or raise yourself up. So parsnip. And if I find it, we'll just read it right this minute. Come on, spirit guides, let's talk about parsnip. It's great. Parsley. Oh, bummer. So a nice grounding food. Let me look up in here and see if I can find it. Anything about root vegetables in general. And just it will tell what they'll do for you. Let me look at the index. This book is so awesome. If you guys haven't checked this out yet, it is a brilliant book. I want to look into the chapter about diets, you know. That's not how this book is really laid out. It's laid out like chakra 1 through 7, and then it's the shades of that chakra, the unfolding of the petals, the growing of the lotus, the traumas and abuses, but I was pretty sure that it does talk about root vegetables and what they'll do for you. However, just make sure you look into that. However, root vegetables, I will tell you, they help ground you, as the root is in the ground, just like your feet are in the ground. Well, when you're on the chakra scale, that will help these first two chakras, the red and the orange, these ones that are the closest to the ground for you, okay? Again, this is your crown chakra and your third eye, the very top of your head. So these root vegetables will help you stay grounded. So if you feel like your head is in the clouds a lot and you're not exactly, you know, you're not stable enough. You're just like all over the place. Do things to ground yourself more, because if you're up too high, grounding will just center you. However, if you're perfectly centered, eat all kinds of foods. If you are way too grounded and you never ever 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 let go or have fun or change or do anything, then you need to eat the foods that are at the top of the tree, like these that are the closest to the sun. These are so vata. These are so vata. And, woo, yeah, I'll do whatever you want to do. That's fine. Change is fine. I don't care. Like, you know, whereas the other side is I never change it, you know. So, hopefully that helps you, because we want to have all of these just balanced and spinning perfectly. Thank you for joining me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, for another herbal video talking about mandarins, tangerines, and orange citruses in general. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Jen the Taxidermy Witch.